Well, the Anacostia River has played an important role in the city's history from its very beginning.
And what a story the Anacostia River is. It's not a long river. This is an 8-mile river, 180-mile watershed, all in the District of Columbia and Maryland.
It was one of the reasons why George Washington and his compatriots decided on a national capital in this area.
But this is where the work of the city was done. So there was cement facilities here, there was trash transfer station, and in this location is where the original naval ships that helped defend our country were built and designed. The consequence, though, as the Anacostia River was silting up, is that enormous amounts of contaminants settled into the river.
It became a forgotten river. You had a series of incentives, directives, policies that over the years really led to the segregation of our country and our cities, racial distancing. The Anacostia was considered part of the other city. It wasn't really considered part of the central city. And so this neglect built up and multiplied.
The pollutants that are bedeviling this part of Washington, D.C. and the Anacostia River is in sediment. The overflow, it's called a combined sewer overflow, is designed to go directly to the river. And billions of gallons, that's untreated sewage, that's stormwater with all the crud that's been on the street, not going to a treatment plant, it's going to the river.
Overall quality of the area, the water, the air quality, the quality of life was bad for the fish that live in the water, the turtles that live in the water, the deer that live on the island. Foxes, whatever the wildlife you see on the island, the overall quality of life for the inhabitants was pretty bad. A lot of people don't know Kingman Island used to be a landfill. The area going right past Kingman Island towards Brentwood, Maryland, Kenworth used to be a power plant.
The river had really gone into a period of severe neglect. Within sight of the nation's capital, you had one of the most polluted, malign rivers in the United States.
Thanks to the work of many, many organizations, they made a concerted effort to educate us on the significance of the river and to remind us that it was there and that it was our river too.
And so as mayor, we set upon creating the Anacostia Waterfront Initiative.
It was the federal government, it was the district government, it was private and public, it was education, it was environmental groups, it was 18 or 19 groups as I recall.
It really was a multifaceted plan to clean up the river, develop sites along the river, and to really use the river very importantly as a bridge between east of the river and west of the river, between the richer parts of our community, the poorer parts of the community, white, black, young, old, really to unite the city and a new focal point for the city.
The biggest initial development here was the Federal Department of Transportation. There are 2 metro stops here, which is a golden asset to have in any neighborhood that you can get to and from by public transportation. Then the city stepped up. They worked together with the support of community environmental groups to build the Nationals ballpark. That started to draw all sorts of interest in housing and restaurants, and it began to get a critical mass.
The mayor at the time said, I want to bring baseball back and have economic development, but I also want to revitalize a part of the city that needs some help. And what better to do that by putting a ballpark with millions of visitors every year along the river.
The water utility for this region, the DC Water and Sewer Authority, have built giant underground tunnels. That flow that would have gone to the river now is channeled underground to these huge tunnels and then conveyed down to the largest and most sophisticated advanced wastewater treatment plant in the world. It is capturing all of that waste, and there's a dramatic, immediate improvement to the river itself.
And you see the ecosystem is greener, not only in the river, but along the banks of the river. And that's a sign that the river is healing.
The more we all work together to continue to bring people together on this topic. Myself as an island ranger, I'm starting to see it because I'm on the island every day. Doing water quality testing and things like that with some of the education programs, the water's clearing up.
Hundreds of millions of dollars have now gone into the city's coffers that can go into initiatives for social services and other social goods, funds that weren't there before from the economic development and the investments that you see around here.
I was in a meeting a couple of days ago and they said there's a patch of the river that may be swimmable by next year. Things are progressing really well, but there's still some things that we have to continue to be mindful of, and racial equity is at the top of the list.
Now the issue is, can we make sure that the working class and lower income families that were here when it wasn't well put together can still stay?
At the end of the day, the Anacostia River is all about people. And so when you see kids and new families coming and using this ballpark, using this community, and using the river, you know that we all did something good together.
And I think a lesson for other cities, no matter how small your city, you can use your waterfront as an organizing theme, as a building block in revitalizing your city.
This is a story like any great novel. There's a period of time where everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and then heroes come forward and regular people and have a solution at the end. That's the story of this river, and can be a story of any river.